Okay, so welcome back to the Red Room. This is going to be a quick episode on the streaming service, which is our subscription service. Deep breaths. I hope you guys are doing well. Education. It's nice to take a break from education, I will say. I think what I like to do in my meantime is have fun. Fashion is probably one of my greatest kind of like outlets for creative expression. I really kind of dibble and dabble. I have quite a few hobbies, actually. When I want to take the load off from education, it just kind of like allow my brain to relax from philosophy. It's nice. Cooking is another outlet for me. But what I wanted to talk about in today's episode in the Red Room was this idea of like progression. And I don't know what it was about. It could be the tone. It could be the verbiage. I'm not really sure. But I really have a problem with like people reaching a certain level of success in their lives and just feeling the need to just address haters and just feeling the need to just like educate other people on the downsides of success and setting people up with this expectation, or not even expectation. Maybe it's the reality, right? That everyone cannot relate. And it's true. Not everyone can relate. And it's true. You know, I heard somebody on Instagram was just talking about this, like, not everyone is set up to win. And I don't know. I just think one thing I think what I'm really like slowly getting to this point where I just kind of feel like you just don't meet a lot of people who humble today. Like everybody feels the need to address every little negative thing. And I don't like that. Because I just think for me, it's like, okay, you work for your success, you in your bag, be happy. You know what I mean? Do you. And I don't want to be, so naive to say like, oh, it just never happened to me, or, oh, I'm not going to experience certain things like that because I already have. But I just think for me, it's just like, why can't you just keep it pushing? Like, why do you feel the need to like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That just bothers me. Another thing, too, I kind of wanted to address is just this idea of like Black luxury, but in like white designer. like it's low key cringe because I just feel like every time, like this is one thing that I know. Like there's a difference between like class, but then there's also a difference in like a Black person being in like some designer with like Gucci or like, you know what I mean? Brands that really stand out, right? So emblems, things like that, like the symbol of the designer and so forth. And just how dependent on the person, the color of their skin, like everything political, it doesn't even look like designer. Like we're actually thinking that is fake. And so I don't know. I think I'm more so at this point in my life where it's just like, I just want people to experience life like for themselves, define what it means to be happy and successful for themselves. You know what I mean? And just get over themselves. To be honest, like I genuinely want people to just literally get over themselves. Like I just do, like I genuinely do. Like I don't know what makes people think that everybody is jealous of them. I just can't seem to understand that. And I just feel like that's everybody today. Like even they've even taken this conversation over to the church community. I mean, every other video on Christianity is like, oh, they not happy for you because God got the favor on your life and the blessings on your life. You hear married women saying things like, oh, you need to just pray, or looking at unmarried women like they are just these unhinged, filthy, demonic animals who need to be controlled. Right. And it just becomes this really, really big thing where it's like so much of it today is about everybody hating on you. Like, and I just don't get it. I don't think people realize it. But like when some people reach a certain level of success, and let me just say this too, it's a very easy thing to do. It's a very easy thing to do. But like you just have to be very conscious and cognizant and like checking yourself. And it's not easy. You know what I mean? It's really not easy. Like when you start to rise above, when you start to overcome, like it's very easy to kind of like start feeling yourself and smelling yourself. You know what I mean? Like that's just so easy. But I just feel like if people would maybe focus a little bit more on purpose and like things that matter, and more so giving back to the world and to those who are unprivileged, I think people will be a lot more humble, and you can just really enjoy your blessings and enjoy the fruits of your labor. Like, why does everybody feel the need to position themselves and to advocate for themselves in addressing haters? I don't get it. I genuinely don't get it. And it's almost like I believe that because of the culture of isolation, so many people have no choice but to turn to narcissism. You know what I mean? And I don't know. It's just a very interesting thing, you know, like it really is. And don't get me wrong, I have literally had those experiences, but it's like, I don't know. I personally just refuse to kind of like come online or even adopt this ideology that like, oh, everybody's not going to be happy for you and people are hating for you. Like, I think for me, it's just more so like, yo, you're blessed. You know, I was even just talking about it on the Renaissance Room, just how, you know, for myself, I'm like, I've really had a lot of factors in my life that have set me up for success. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not here because of, you know what I mean? Like, I've really had a lot of moving parts. You know, I've had a lot of things that have really set in motion, and I've definitely done the work. You know, I'm learning to balance that, right? Like God's grace and my hard work. But I don't know. I just wish people would just kind of like take a back seat sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't get it. And then my whole thing is this, it's just like, I don't know. It's just weird. I think it's about the tone and delivery, but I also think so much of it is just so fake. You know, like, it's just so fake. Like, oh, people just don't want to be my friend. It's hard to be my friend. Like, it's probably hard to be your friend because you're a jerk. You know what I mean? And then my thing is this. My question is this, and we're going to end here. I think overall, the biggest thing is like, why do y'all feel so entitled to share all of your accomplishments? You know, are you doing it for you, or are you genuinely doing to just kind of like make other people feel, you know what I mean? And I think that this is really like what a lot of people are talking about, and people look at them like, oh, they're losers, they're giving up, and so forth. And I understand both sides, because you do have some people out there like that who don't even want to try. But when you listen closely, a lot of times what people are just saying is like, so much of capitalism, right, is just really rooted in proving that you're better than the next person. And that's literally all it's about. Like, I don't get it. I genuinely don't get it. You know, but I have experienced those things. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I just think for me, it's just more so like, I think if the conversations are going to be had, it needs to be a different type of conversation. Like, and I genuinely think that there are just so many problems in the world. People are just literally so focused on like their stuff and their problems that this is the conversations that are being had with people who have resources. And in no way is anybody entitled to give or do anything for anybody. Like, I totally get it. But I just think that like conversations like this spawning and just things being like, I can't stand it. I can't stand it. Like, it's just such a weak thing to me. I mean, sincerely, you know? Because I think really what it is, honestly, like behind all the layers of the haterations and people not wanting to see you happy, is really about the person you've become, you know? And you're probably not as good as you think. You're probably not a good person. You know what I mean? Because like, what are they really hating on? Are they hating on the light that's in you? Are they hating on the love that's in you? Or are they hating because you're flossing your new Benz? You know what I mean? Like, what really is it that they're coveting? You know, I don't know. I just think, I don't think people realize that. I think that there's a lot that kind of goes under the radar if you don't check yourself. And then I think when you're successful and you're humble, the two cannot really coexist, because now you got to prove to the world that you deserve this, right? Now you got to prove that you're the person who should have the things, you know what I mean? And if that means crapping on others, and that's what it's going to be. I don't think people realize it, but like, I even noticed this with someone I had met recently. And I could just tell like this person's energy was just not very comforting. You know what I mean? Like, I think sometimes if you're not aware, and I don't feel like this person was aware, and I'm really just going to give this one-off example, but like, I just really felt like his energy was so judgmental. You know what I mean? Like, it was just such a judgmental kind of like energy that he gave off that made you uneasy. You know what I mean? And I don't think people realize that. Like, people no longer kind of radiate from the spirit of like warmth and like, okay, it's cool to be around you, you know? Like, I don't know. I think when we talk about comfort, when we talk about like, you know, being yourself and not really making other people comfortable, I think that's fine. You know, I know you're going to upset some people on your journey, but I just think that we've really taken it to the extremes. You know, I really do. And I think that we've taken it to the point of like, no longer a matter of self-reflection, no longer a matter of like grounding within ourselves, but more so just like, I have to prove that I'm here for a reason. and I'm better than you, and that's why I'm here. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't know. There's just no humility. You just don't really meet people who are just easy to be around, who are successful. You know what I mean? Like, there's this sense of relatability that is gone, and it's not due to the materialism. It's who they've become in the process of that, right? It's this lack of relation in terms of like human decency and realism, you know? And so I don't know. I like listening to content creators who talk about things like this in a better way that's a little bit more easier to digest and explain. But yeah, it's kind of like wrapped in this bow of like, yes, I want you to know that I am better than you, right? Because I think for myself, if I know someone's deprived or struggling or dealing with their own things, I wouldn't care to flaunt my blessings in front of them. You see what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't even care to show or share certain things. One, because I don't need your validation. I don't need you to clap for me. You know what I mean? And then two, it's just like, why share with a person who you're not going to share with, and you know they're never going to have those experiences? You know what I mean? And if you feel like they make such bad choices, why do you even have this person in your life? You know, is this person literally just here so you can prop yourself up? Or do you have this person in your life because you're going to help them get to where you want to be? Because if not, then there's no need to even have these people in your life. That being said, there's no need to constantly have conversations about people hating on you, right? Like, what is this really about? And so I think that that's really like the biggest thing. And I don't think people realize that. If you don't feel like someone's on your level or whatever you deem is your level, then don't come around them. But you know why you still come around them? One, you either lying to yourself and you really want them to prop you up in your ego, and you know what you did and what you pursue is not about you. It's about, you know, it's not really about you. It's about feeling better than the next person. Or two, you keep them around because you know that this is someone who you clearly respect, admire, enjoy their company in some form or fashion. So the next question would be, if you don't want to share your resources with them or help them get to where they want to be, or if you feel like they're not aiming or aspiring, I mean, like, really get to the root. Like, why do you even keep people like this in your life if you feel like they're constantly hating on you? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. To me, it just doesn't really make, it just doesn't really make any sense. Why come around people like that? Like, and I think that's more so my thing. It's like, I just feel like, I don't feel like y'all be having haters. I just feel like y'all just be weird. Like, let me not say weird, because that's just such a derogatory, like, demeanor, you know what I mean? But like, genuinely, like, what is really going on there? You know, because I know for me, if I feel like someone's hating, if I feel like someone's jealous of me, I don't keep this person around. And I definitely ain't running to them every time I got a blessing coming in through the door. You know what I mean? Like, there's a strong boundary there. I don't need this person to prop me up, and I don't need them to feel bad about what I got going on. So, like, realistically, why do y'all do that? I don't get it. Somebody make it make sense for me, because it's not making sense. Like, I just think that's so weird, you know? And I think, too, it's very easy to forget where you've come from when you finally got your breakthrough and life has been going good for you. It's really easy to forget. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying, yo. Like, when it comes to success, when it comes to even just seeming a little bit better, like, you know, when people are struggling, whether it be mentally, financially, the whole nine, like, you really have to check yourself. Like, if you blessed, if you have privilege, or if you are privileged, you blessed, and you keep it pushing. But you don't forget for a second that there are not people out here who are starving, who are deprived, who have done all the things, who have checked all the boxes. I just talked about this on YouTube, the reality of mental health and mental illness, and how people like Jordan Neely can easily be the next person standing right next to you, right? When people are gone without their human needs, what do you think is the result of that, right? It's a mental illness. It's a psychological survival, which is high cortisol that is activated daily, which is going to cause stress to the brain, which is going to cause lack of oxygen, all of these different things, right? The healthy tissue, the blood flow, everything in this person's body is being reactive and rewired, which is going to cause mental illness, right? And when people go without food, shelter, water, this is going to be something that we are seeing more commonly on a day-to-day basis. And I don't think people realize that. You could very easily lose your spouse today, lose your stream of income today. And then you're going to be the person who's on Instagram with the mental illness, right? If you don't have family or someone to come and love you and support you and nurture you back to health, that could easily be you. And I don't think people realize that. I think for me, enjoying your blessings is is something to where it's like it feels good to celebrate other people. But I think if you're moving in purpose, you don't need everybody to clap for you. You know what I mean? Does it feel good? Yes. But it's like if you can get to a point where you can kind of just like really ground yourself, I think you'll be better off. Because today, I don't know what y'all got going on, but when I say that is every content creator's premise, right? It's people hating on you. You're better than them. Your light is shining. You're a better Christian. They're hating on you because of the blessings that are on your life. And don't get me wrong, trust me, I've experienced this, but it's like, I feel like when someone shows you who you are, let it go. Why do you keep dealing with these type of people? Do I think it's hard for me to meet friends? I mean, I think if that's something that I wanted, but I've never really been that type of person. You know what I mean? I don't feel like I need a huge crowd around me. And again, everything that I just said just kind of comes full circle. Like, if you feel like someone's not on your level, why do you deal with them? Right? And if that's the case, you're still dealing with them, then you need to check yourself, because you're not being honest about something. You're like, something's off, you know? And then I would ask yourself too, like, do you really want a life of isolation? Is that your type of character? Is that your type of spirit and personality? Because not everyone has the strength of an eagle. You know what I mean? Not everybody has the mental bandwidth and fortitude to really live a life of solitude and do things on your own time. Because if you did, you wouldn't be on here crying and complaining all the time about how you got all these haters around you. Because if you really could stand on your own 2 feet and if you really could be solid, you wouldn't feel the need to constantly address every single hater and every single person who's not happy for you. Like, something's off here. You know, it's like, I really feel like people are just be so out of touch with themselves. I swear to you, you know, and I think for me too, seeing how numbers work, not everybody who comes online is a millionaire. You know what I mean? Like, easily, like, and it's just, I don't know, man. It's just very interesting to just kind of like see it all really be what it is today. So I'm going to end there. I hope you guys are having a great night. And I hope that this episode was insightful to make you guys just kind of look in the mirror. Like, I think I promise you, like, nothing matters in today's world until it's you. You know what I mean? Until it's you. And you're going to see how deeply I don't even know if incompassion is a word. You're going to deeply see how so many people lack empathy. Like, we're being stripped of it. And I think it's due to survival. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Check yourselves. Peace. And post this podcast episode in the main platform. It just so happened to shut down. Long story short, not the podcast shutting down, but my little system I had going on or whatever. So enjoy this podcast episode. This is a subscription-free podcast episode, so enjoy it. Peace.